words that rhyme with joint. Writing songs is hard. So welcome to Gear Wizard TV. Say welcome to Gear Wizard TV. One more time. Welcome to Gear Wizard TV. Fuck it, let's line up. Good evening, potheads, and welcome to another episode of Gear Wizard TV. As always, I am the Wizard. And we apologize. We were not here last week. I know we promised we would do a show every Tuesday. Well, that's just not going to happen sometimes. Last week, unfortunately, JD was sick. He couldn't be with us, and I didn't want to fly solo. But this week, I am proud to say JD is back. So without further ado, let me introduce my right-hand man. He drives the van. There are some who call him JD.
Thank you, my friend. Good to be back. I was sick. Now I am well. What are you smoking tonight, Wizard?
What am I smoking tonight? Nothing. Yet.
Oh, you fooled me.
Nothing yet. Tonight, as far as our strain, we have some GMO. Some GMO from Stone Leaf Cannabis here in Vermont. And I'm smoking it in a rather interesting cone. So we were talking a couple weeks ago about concentrates.
We were.
And, with concentrates, we're taking all the weed and we're taking all the good stuff out and we're leaving behind all this plant material. What do you do with that plant material?
You make a rolling paper out of it.
I was going to say, if you're Josh Kesselman at Raw, you make a rolling paper out of it. So these cones are made from that plant residue. It's been rolled out, formed into a paper. They spray a little bit of, I think it's artificial, but a little bit of a terpene on it. They don't specify what, but from the flavor, I'm going to guess it's limonene, however you want to say that. So it does. It has a little bit of a citrusy taste to it.
Nice.
But I like it because it eliminates waste, and I like rolling up my weed in weed.
Do those papers say not for tobacco use only on them?
These I don't think do. No, the cones I haven't seen that.
Before we came live here, the Wizard and I were talking about how many rolling papers have not for tobacco use written on them, and that it's a mystery. And no one knows why.
or something similar. I don't know if I can make this show up because unfortunately, the closest pack I have is like really, really, really gold.
Your camera's not
So
that
I
good.
don't think it's going to focus. It is not. But right here under where it says raw, it says not for tobacco use, for use with legal smoking herbs only.
I just don't want people smoking tobacco. Yeah, I don't know. That's.
Now I went nuts. Like I have gone down rabbit holes. I've looked in Reddit chats. I have. I even went as far as looking at Quora, and I hate Quora. But you find a lot of theories. A lot of I think it's because of X, Y, Z.
Sure.
Nobody knows.
Well, what's the prevailing thought? Because I don't even really know where to begin.
Various drifts of liability / legal purposes.
Okay.
They don't want to be associated with tobacco, or it in some way gets them out of some sort of tobacco related classification. I don't know.
That one. Yeah, that one right there. I didn't even think of the classification aspect. Like maybe tobacco is so regulated in the US that if you sell any sort of tobacco related products, you are taxed a certain amount on them. And so, not for tobacco. Don't come for us, tax man. Maybe.
It could be. That's the only thing that really makes any sense to me.
It does make sense. Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, maybe they're just trying to be cool. Like,
But like
you're
even
like you're
Zigzag.
tobacco man. Yeah, no, there's something.
Zigzag says uh, for for something along the line of legal herbs only.
Hmm.
So again, we ain't tobacco over here.
Right.
Uh,
I love that.
Funny because
Legal herbs. So you can roll up some oregano in there. That's
when I
funny.
was a kid, there were places the only way you could get rolling papers were if you bought tobacco that had them included.
Right. And for tobacco use only, it was on like everything. Like when I went into there was one head shop that I used to go into where the guy got sick of saying it, so he just recorded it. So every time somebody walked up to the case and started looking at something, he would say and push play on a tape player, an actual tape player, and it would say, "The pipes featured at this store are for tobacco use only. They are not," because everybody would, come up and go, "Oh, it's smoking pot." But
Oh yeah, if you asked for a bong, you would be asked to leave the store.
yeah,
We
you are
don't
not
sell
allowed to
bongs
use that
here.
word. No, water pipes. Water tobacco pipes, because lots of people like to smoke tobacco out of a 3 foot tall water pipe. That doesn't sound horrible at all. Horrible and abusive to yourself for no reason.
Yummy.
Yeah, just instant vomit. Did you ever do
Oh.
that just for fun, like smoke a whole cigarette down in like one bong hit, like just to do it? I never did, but I know that's a thing people have done.
No, no.
Yeah.
It seems like something I would have done, but no, I
Right.
never did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw anybody do it in the real world either. Just one of those things, like I just feel like it's a thing people have done.
I was never a big fan of mixing my weed
Mixing.
with my tobacco either.
No, you don't like the spliff?
I'm not a big fan of the spliff. Like I will, well, not anymore since I stopped smoking for
Yeah.
sure. But no, even back when I smoked, I would do it with my English friends
Hmm.
who like them. But nah, it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, I have a friend who only smokes spliffs. He's a big pot smoker too. 2 joints in the morning, two at night, two more before and after both of those times, and throughout the day. And yeah, he probably smokes 5 to 10 cigarettes a day. I'd guess worth of tobacco just from putting the tobacco into every joint. Because if a third, I don't know, but some people like it. He loves it. He won't smoke it without it. To him, it's just he loves it.
Well, and the people smoke the blunts
Yeah,
with the real tobacco. That nicotine, I mean, it's addictive for a reason. Right?
it is, and
It
maybe it does
it
give a
feels good.
little. Yeah,
I mean, at first it makes you feel a little nauseous,
right.
but then once you get used to it, ooh,
I don't remember it ever like. It's been so long since I was a regular addicted smoker of cigarettes, but I just remember that I would smoke to not feel bad. I mean, like I would just basically have to be smoking cigarettes all the time to feel normal. I don't think they
right.
were
That's
making
what
me feel
happens
good.
later.
Yeah,
But
I don't
when you're
remember.
first starting it out, it's like, ooh,
Yeah, little honeymoon period. I have no memories of that.
that's nice.
I'll have to take up smoking again. Just kidding, everyone.
Oh, oh, knock wood.
So what do you have going on over there, Wizard?
What do we have going on over here? So, did I tell you about our trip to uh, the Lake Champlain Valley, as they call it?
You did not, or you might have mentioned
Uh,
something, but I'm gonna pretend that you didn't.
so it's kind of a spoiler on where this story goes. But we decided after a Terra saw on Instagram, somebody had posted some pictures from a little, I don't know, it's not quite a diner. It's like a step above a diner. It's not a full-on restaurant kind of thing. It's unique
Mhm.
somewhat. Small town place outside of Colchester, and it's right on the lake, Lake Champlain, and they had, by all accounts, perfected the mozzarella stick. They were made in house. They were about this big around. Well, hang on, actually, I have a picture.
Like a half a pizza's worth of cheese in each mozzarella stick.
With a house-made panko-based coating.
Oh, stop it.
And then their in-house marinara. So hang on. Where are we at? Here we are. I know I can do this. There.
We're talking cheese here. Oh.
So
did
yeah.
you take is that a picture from the internets, or did you take that picture?
No, that was our mozzarella sticks when we got there. And so I'm looking at that going, that does look pretty good. And then I looked at their menu. And saw that they did a in-house poutine with their own in-house brown gravy, and what turned out to be some really, really good cheese curds. So I'm like, fuck, if I can get poutine, let's go.
Yeah.
So we drove across the mountains, because we literally have to cross the Green Mountains to get there. We're on one side, they are on the other. Cross the mountains, went pretty much straight to the restaurant, got some poutine, got some mozzarella sticks, got an incredible chicken salad sandwich.
How is there even room for a chicken salad sandwich after?
Oh, there wasn't. I didn't.
Sticks.
I didn't finish. I didn't finish any of it. It was so good. But then we're talking to the guy afterwards. He's like, how was your meal? And it was well worth the drive.
How long a drive? About 2 hours?
Where'd you come from? Oh, no. It's a good hour and a half maybe. Because you're going across the mountain, a lot of back roads.
Sure.
You have to drive slow. It's not that far, but it takes a while.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it's like, oh, so where'd you come from? And we told him. What brought you up here? Like, this.
Cheese.
Poutine and mozzarella stick. You drove up here just for this. Sir, that is how I live my life.
This is the owner that said that to you?
Yeah.
Man, you gotta believe in your stuff a little more. I would have said, hey, yeah.
He was shocked. He was surprised. I mean, he appreciated it. He was very thankful.
Did he hook you up with an extra cheese stick?
No, we were leaving at this point, and we were taking food with us.
Yeah.
There was no need.
I mean, I've driven further for less. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, that's how I live my life.
Yeah. An hour for poutine? That's nothing as far as
I will take off some days. Like, I want to go to a weed store I've never been to. Let's drive 2 hours and visit 3 weed stores in a day.
Yeah.
Why not? What else are you going to do?
Why not, indeed?
Watch TV? Live life. Smoke weed. Eat good food.
I'm not going to sleep now with that image of those mozzarella sticks in my head. I'm going to get into bed and just think about them.
So to bring it back on topic,
how is that off topic?
Of course, I'm going to a dispensary while we're on this trip. And we found this place, it's kind of between, I'm sure I should know the town, but it's one of the little towns between Colchester, Burlington. It might actually be East Burlington, but it's Grass Queen is the name of the dispensary. Female owned. All the products sold there were either grown by females or people of color. Kind of a cool little shop. One of the only places I've seen in Vermont that sells in bulk. So most everything is pre-packed by the grower in most cases, like this. So you're buying an eighth. It's in a jar. It's labeled. But no, she's old school.
Oh, so you can just buy like half pound and they'll put it in a trash bag for you.
And there's the big jars like this, just full of buds, and you
Nice.
could open it up and smell. So nice. And she had the coolest little pack of pre-rolls. When I'm traveling, I can't buy an eighth everywhere I go. That
Right.
gets outrageous. So, but I always buy at least a pre-roll or a pack of pre-rolls. It's kind of a way to check the place out. And so this is a pack of 5 dog walkers. One thing I love about Vermont is this is all cardboard. There's no plastic.
They don't the jars. They're not like little plastic jars.
No, all the jars are glass or sometimes metal. Uh, if you buy a pre-roll, it either comes in a paper tube or a glass tube.
Nice.
Sometimes with a cork, like you just get a test tube with a cork on it, which
Yeah,
is kind of cool.
it is cool.
But yeah, everything is recyclable. There's
Mm-hmm.
no plastic. So you get some clever little boxes. And what I loved about this one is not only do you get your little pre-rolls in here,
Mm-hmm.
but this little guy opens up and there's, I don't think you can see, matches.
Super cool. I can see it.
Matches and
Yeah,
then a
and there's a
striker
strike
here.
pad. Yep. I don't think I've ever seen that before though.
Yeah, just nice little dog walkers. Of some tasty bud. I like
Okay.
Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont is cool. You can't really take your dog on a long walk with a dog walker though. Why do they call them dog walkers? I'm assuming because they're supposed to be the perfect size for walking your dog,
For
right?
a short
Or
walk.
yeah.
Just
All right.
got to go out and take care of business.
Yeah.
Take that along the way. You don't want to smoke a whole gram when you're walking the dog.
You don't?
Most people,
Okay.
no, most people, that's a little much.
I might not even, but I feel like you do if you had such a
It
dog.
would need to be a long walk.
Yeah.
And I would have to sit down
Fair.
a lot.
Like to sit and smoke as opposed to walk and smoke, eh?
I would be tired.
Yeah.
I get tired quickly. Because
There might
I
be
mostly smoke
correlation.
the indica
Mm-hmm.
type strains.
That's valid. Maybe you don't want to go for a long walk while you're smoking 27% GMO indica. GMO.
Definitely they're slow walks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not when I lived in Boulder. Uh, I would smoke quite a bit on my long walks. I would go on 2-3 mile walks every day. I miss that.
That's in the air is thin up there too.
It is. It is. It took a few weeks to work up to that.
I bet. Can you
Especially going.
please remove that? So the mozzarella sticks just look too good. Like I'm literally just, I keep staring at them and I'm like, I don't even remember what we're talking about. I don't remember anything else other than cheese right now. Just glorious, glorious cheese. What kind of cheese was that they put on top of that? Was that just like shredded Parmesan?
Shredded parm.
Yeah.
Shredded fresh parm, of course.
Did they actually? Did the waiter do the shredding right there at the
No,
table?
no, and again, it's not like a proper restaurant. Like you
Right.
go in and you go up to a counter
Mm-hmm.
like a deli almost and order.
Gotcha.
But then they bring the food to you.
Okay.
Uh, and so I don't know. It feels in this weird sort of in between state.
Well, you just described like every new restaurant that's opening in Austin, basically. Like that is the vibe now. You
Super
go, you order
casual,
at the cash register. Yeah, you go, you sit down.
but like top shelf food.
Right. Yes. I went to a place the other day. I'll give them a free shout out here called Local Foods in Austin, and it is. I guess it's a little chain. Maybe there's a couple in Houston, but it is like everything is super super fresh. Like just the best quality food I think that I've
I
ever had.
feel like I have eaten there. I can't remember when, but the name is familiar.
Well, you might be eating there again in, next week when you're in town.
That's right. It is time to go back to Austin
It is.
and spend 8 glorious days watching movies and smoking copious amounts of weed in between movies.
So basically, just like any other 8 days, but with movies.
And many people that I only get to see once a year.
Right.
But yeah, it's a glorious week of hanging out with some dear friends and some people whose our whole relationship centers around this festival.
Yeah, I was on the periphery of the fest for years, and I can vouch for that. It is a bit of a cult in the most pure and endearing sense of the word.
Honestly,
It's a leaderless cult.
I go for the my friends.
Yeah,
I've gotten to the point where I could go without the movies.
but you must do the movies.
I
How
love the
many?
movies.
How many are you gonna do a day?
We we shoot for all of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
5, right?
Most days. Most
Yeah.
days that's 5. It's getting a little harder every year, and I don't necessarily make that, but it's an insane number at the end.
Yeah, I wonder what the most. At least twice in my life, maybe 3 times. No, twice. I went to like a 26-hour, 24 plus. It wound up being 26, 27-hour film festival where literally I was in a theater for that whole time watching 13 or 14 movies back to back. And I was thinking the other day, what is the most number of movies that I could watch in one day in the movie theater now? And it might be 2. It's not, it's maybe 3 if like, if for Fantastic Fest or something I could do that. If that was the vibe and I was with the right people and stuff. But like even now, like when I go to a movie, by the time I'm done with the 10 minutes of Coca-Cola commercials and 25 minutes of previews and then the whole movie and everything, like I'm ready to get up and
Well,
just
see, that's the nice
go.
thing about the fest is uh there's not a lot of commercials. There's going to be a
Right.
little blurb for the fest.
Mm,
La 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 la. Uh there's rarely a preview.
right.
So,
And if there is a preview, it's like something cool and somebody's going to be talking about it.
and it when you first get in there, it's because it's still the draft house. So when you first get in there, while you're sitting down, there is some crazy pre-show
Yeah.
of clips of things that somebody has curated and put together to wow you or stun you or make you laugh that you can totally ignore if you're not into it and talk to your friends. So it's not like just going to the Cineplex.
True. It is a fun vibe. And I, as you know, I was a server at the Alamo Draft House for several of those Fantastic Fests,
I
and that was
know.
always my favorite crowd because you guys just lived there for a week and you treated everybody well, and it was just like I just knew for a full week that I wasn't going to be seeing any families and little kids and people who didn't know to not talk during movies at the Alamo Draft House. It was just for a week. It was just a bunch of weirdos um, who lived there basically in the theater, and I loved it every
Yeah,
week of the
that's
year.
me.
Yeah, it was the best. Well, we are digressing a little bit, although it's all kind of weed related, isn't it?
Oh, it is because
Yeah.
again, I smoked more weed that week than is even normal for me.
Do you?
Yes. Yes, there is much weed smoking. There's
Nice, and especially if you have a Doug Benson sighting.
I've smoked with Doug many times. Yeah, he
Right.
comes because we have our little circle where everybody knows you go over here and smoke,
Hmm.
and boom, there's Doug.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know where else he'd be.
nice guy, nice guy,
Hmm.
nice guy. Always a pleasure. But yes, we do digress.
That's okay. I
What do you
actually
want to talk
wanted to
about?
call this show the Digression Show. Uh, I thought you might have a terpene for us today,
Do you want to
and
talk
I
about a terpene?
I do. I like talking terpenes.
Got a terpene for you.
Yeah.
Of course, we have a terpene for you. What terpene? Pinene.
See, I was gonna say pinene,
Pinene.
pinene
Because it's piney.
for the fjords.
It's pinene for the fjords.
I don't know that I get that.
Nobody's gonna get that joke,
Okay.
but it makes me laugh.
All right. Good. Don't explain it.
Okay, no, I want to.
Okay.
Monty Python, the dead parrot sketch.
Been a long time. I love Monty Python,
He's,
especially Holy Grail. I
the guy
remember the Dead
brings the
Parrot
parrot back
sketch.
and it's dead. The pet shop
Uh,
has sold him a dead parrot, and the guy's trying to tell him, no, it's fine. It's a Norwegian blue.
yeah,
He's he's not dead. He's pining. He's pining for the fjords.
that is a deep, deep cut, but it's a deep pothead cut. So I like it.
Because we watch the same thing over and over.
We do.
Or is that because I'm neurodivergent? I don't know. I think the two go together.
I think the two go together. I mean, I watched the movie Big Daddy one summer probably 25 times because that was the DVD that was on top of the DVD player in the living room that my friends and I all smoked pot in every day. So that was what we watched,
Yep.
and we quoted, like, we would just quote the entire movie as it was happening, and like, I don't know, I don't think things got old back then.
Some
Hard to
things never
explain,
get
but
old.
yeah, I mean, I haven't seen. I don't think that I don't know that that's something I could revisit.
I watch Frisky Dingo almost every night. Or Sea Lab. I watch one of those two shows almost every night. And they never get old.
And you've seen them each, what, 50 times?
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
It's like, we all have those things that it's like hanging out with an old friend.
It's comforting.
Yeah.
It's my let's go to bed ritual.
Uh,
Okay, pinene. There are actually two pinenes. And seriously, this is one of those, if you're trying to pay attention and you're caring about what you smoke, you have to be careful because sometimes it just says pinene and you don't know what to expect.
mm,
Literally. Because while they're literally almost the same thing, like they have the same chemical makeup, but just one of the joints, I don't understand chemistry, but one of the joints is like a tiny bit different. Like it's all the same stuff, it's just how it's put together is the only difference. But it kind of makes a big difference,
I don't understand chemistry either,
oddly
but I
enough.
understand it enough to know that a tiny little thing can make all the difference in the world. So,
All
yes.
huge. I mean, look, it's one line. It's one line that here versus there.
Yeah.
If you can see on the picture, I don't know what those are. I'm not going to pretend.
You
But
need a
yeah, there's
scientist.
alpha pinene and then there's beta pinene. And And like alpha pinene is usually what you're getting if it says it's pinene. So you roll the dice, it's probably 90%. Uh, so they're 10-sided die. That's usually what you're going to get if it just says pinene. Uh, and it's going to smell more like pine if it's alpha pinene. Pine and kind of, I don't know if you've ever had like rosemary, a big face full of rosemary.
I have,
Uh,
interestingly enough.
but yeah, it kind of smells like that. And it's what they research the most. But it's going to be more like your sativas, like this when you're smoking something that has that sativa label. Uh, it's going to give you a little bit more of that, head. You're going to get that head high
Mm-hmm.
a lot more. Beta pinene, it's going to take you the other direction. It's a little more body high. It's not water soluble. I, that probably has something to do with something. I don't know, but it's a thing. Uh, it is not researched as much. You
I
get a
think it has to
slightly
do with how much it. I think. Sorry, I think water soluble has to do with how it breaks down in your fat cells.
that would
But I
make
could
sense
be wrong.
because I think most things, you want it gets absorbed by the fats.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess perhaps alpha pinene, you don't need so much fat if you're making edibles. That might be something to consider. I don't know. I'm not an expert on those. I don't make the eddies anymore. I tried. It's work. Uh, Hops, though, you're going to get more of a hoppy smell than a piney smell. So it's a little more herby. It's woodsy, but it's not piney as much. It sounds funny when you say it that way. Piney.
I'm pining for pinene.
Now, out there, besides from cannabis, because of course, cannabis, lots of pinene in cannabis. Uh, Pine needles, pine nuts, eucalyptus, parsley, dill. It's all over the place. It's like literally the most common pinene in the world.
Where did you find the picture of that pug? Is that a pug? It's a
That's
pug.
a pug. That is a pug, and he's cute.
It is cute. You just saw him online and you said, "This is our terpene pug." I hope
No,
that's
I want to say that is in like the uh, the uh, the stock footage that is loaded into PowerPoint.
oh, okay.
He's just like a little stock footage dog.
Well, he's the right dog for the job.
Because we try not to violate anyone's copyright here at Gear Wizard TV.
If anyone owns the copyright to this dog, we
Oh
are
no, I
not
know
coming
this
after you.
is totally safe and legit.
Yeah,
Legal terms.
I call him Pinene.
But yeah, it is the most common, not necessarily in weed,
Ah,
but it is the most common terpene in the world. It's pretty common in weed too, not as much as myrcene. Remember, myrcene
I do.
is the most common terpene in cannabis. So again, you got your different smells, something to pay attention to. Uh, did you know that there is a lot of pinene in fruit rind, citrus fruit rind?
No, but does that have to do with so when they zest, into like a cocktail?
Yes, you're gonna get some pinene.
Nice.
Uh, and that's where that earthy bitter. Have you ever just like literally just eaten a piece of like lemon rind?
I ate a little piece of orange rind just earlier today, about an hour ago.
Yeah, it's kind of
Don't know why
yummy.
I did it. But
It's weird, but
yeah.
it's kind of tasty. I love the
Mm.
lemon rind. But yeah, that's where that earthy bitter thing comes from. Is the pinene? Pinene. So what's it gonna do for you? The alpha pinene, which is a lot more common, has some antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory stuff. Now, the antimicrobial is fun. And I don't know if you think about that. Like, what does antimicrobial mean?
It means that it is against microbes.
Yes, it's a pest repellent. Literally.
Hmm.
Uh, that's why a lot of plants have a lot of pinene, is because it
Oh
pushes
snap!
pushes
Put
the insects away. Get away from me, pests.
get away
That's what
pests.
pinene does, and so it does that for us too.
Nice.
So you're going to get some, not quite antibiotic, but it's going to help against.
So you're saying that I could take this and that the insects outside will not come near me?
No, no, I'm
Nope,
not
that's
saying
what I'm
that.
hearing.
Again, microbes, microbes. No, no, no guarantees. Limonene is
You hear to
probably a
hear,
better bet.
folks.
Limonene is a better bet for that, my friend. Uh, kind of scientifically, in fact. But no, it's like some antifungal almost effect. So like it could be good for some skin lotions and things. But it's going to help balance the microbiome
Hmm.
in your gut, which is why you'll see down further it's gastroprotective. So it's going to help with some of your gastro symptoms,
Of
especially if
which
you
I
eat a lot
have
of
plenty.
cheese sticks with marinara sauce.
And poutine with brown
Pinene's going to
gravy.
help. Neuroprotective. They are researching this for treatment of things like Alzheimer's, dementia, and either preventing it or lessening some of the impacts of it with pinene.
I need to find more weed with pinene then, because I feel a lot of times when I'm consuming weed that I'm being neuro non-protective. My memory is not a good one, and I fear sometimes. I worry about the Alzheimer's and the dementia coming earlier than they should. So
A little bit of
pinene,
pinene.
yeah,
Now, again, I don't know. Nobody's saying smoking weed is gonna help you not get Alzheimer's.
that is what we're saying. Smoking weed will prevent Alzheimer's
But it can't hurt. Uh,
now.
the cancer research stuff is technically very, very interesting as far as anti-tumor and antioxidant, which the oxidants, the free radicals, where cancer comes from, we think.
Mhm.
Uh, there's some legit science behind some of this, and so definitely a little pinene with your weed is going to help along those lines. Now, realistically, what are you going to probably affect to get the most thing of it on a regular basis? The energy boosting, because it is the pinene is what's going to give you more of that get up and go that you don't
Yeah,
get from a lot of other strains. Uh,
I'm looking to see if pinene is in Jack Hair because I feel like Jack gives me a little bit of a get up and go.
Now, the beta pinene, some of the things in that can actually help, oddly enough, with your breathing. The pinene can act as a bronchodilator and like open up your bronchioles. I don't the stuff, your lungs
Yeah, the stuff your lungs,
things. I can't
bronchioles,
remember what they're called. I got to see an anatomy.
lung stuff.
Not gonna lie. I got to see an anatomy. Me, and memorizing the different little pieces. I'm a stoner,
All I know is that the neck bone's connected to the.
but I know how they
I know.
work. And when they're constricted, you don't breathe well. And this is a bronchodilator. It's also an anti-inflammatory. Now that is important if you have joint pains. Like this is one of the things that can help with joint pain. Beta pinene. Anything that's an anti-inflammatory is going to help with your joint pains, which I have a lot of. And I think that's compounded a little bit, by the way, when you bring it in with a little bit of the CBD, which is also going to target some of that. You're going to get a little of the entourage effect with those two working together. So this is one I keep in mind for that, and it's more relaxing, which is more of what I'm looking for most of the time. Uh, I got to be careful with the energy boosting in social situations. It's awesome.
Yeah,
When I am home alone,
less
it is
often.
very anxiety inducing
Mhm.
sometimes. So it can help with pain relief. It is a memory aid, which kind of goes along with some of our neuroprotective stuff. And anxiety, it can help with that. The beta pinene can help with that. Alpha pinene, I am not sold on, and I have seen very little uh, to back up that the alpha pinene is good for anxiety. Uh, I have to be careful with it.
Uh, I I looked up what terpenes are in one of my favorite strains, Jack Herer, and it is myrcene, our old friend, pinene, and then something called humulene, which we'll have to go over another day. But
Which for me, the pinene in this one is totally balanced out by the myrcene in
mm,
Jack Herrera. And yeah, it gives you that energy boost. But then the myrcene says, we're not going to get anxious about this.
right,
Everything's going to be cool. And they work so well together.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the combination that I
It
really like.
is. It's totally. See, that's where you
The
get.
pinene did not keep this mosquito away from my laptop. I just want everybody to know that for all our talk about how pinene will keep the bugs away, it's good timing. But yes, myrcene and pinene is a great entourage effect. I
Yes,
think,
it is
yeah,
a great entourage effect where all these things come together, and what you get out of it is so much more than what you put into it. Pinene is rarely a dominant terpene as well. It's usually going to be like a second or third when you look at the percentages. Big Smooth is an exception. It's one of the few that are pinene dominant. I say no, I'm thinking of something else. So Big Smooth, I have never encountered Big Smooth. So I don't know about that. Blue Dream,
a lot of these are new to me. I've definitely never heard of kosher tangy. I feel like I have to find, as a member of the tribe, I need to find the kosher.
and God's Gift. I'm almost certain it's beta pinene because I definitely find that to be a lot more of the indica leaning. I have not had it in so long though.
That's
Literally, I shouldn't keep using that word. I'm using that word far too much.
which
Uh,
word?
literally,
Literally.
but no, God's Gift is one of my favorite strains that I've ever smoked.
I think as long as you use the word literally correctly, that we don't have a problem.
We'll see. I have a problem.
It's when you use it to mean figuratively that I that, that tends to be the annoying thing with the word literally. When people use it to mean literally the exact opposite thing that it means.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
Don't you think?
A little too
Critical
ironic.
Mass. Ooh, I love me some Critical Mass. It's another one I haven't had in far too long though. So yeah, and that's the pinene.
That's pinene, everybody. What was the joke again? I'm pining for
Pinene for the fjords.
pining for the fjords. I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards. It's been years. Ah, I need to introduce my boy to Monty Python sooner or
Some other
later.
time you'll have to ask me about the time I played Dungeons and Dragons with Graham Chapman.
I feel like that could be a whole show. That sentence right there. I wow. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have to do
that's
that when we're not 10 minutes away from the end of a show.
it's
I'm gonna take the note of that right now though, because I want to
I
know that
I don't
story.
want to say that's just another reason you should smoke a lot of weed when you're young, but it will make you do things that you probably shouldn't do that turn out to be amazing. Have adventures.
Yeah, no, I'm making a note right now that just says Dungeons and Dragons with Graham Chapman. And tomorrow I'm gonna look at this, and it's not even on a note like for the show. Let me write down Gear Wizard TV. Okay, or else I would just like see that like out of context and be like, okay,
So I brought a toy tonight.
let's see it.
I brought a toy. I can't remember. Did we mention on the show at any point the dash pipe?
The dash pipe. I don't
The
think
dash
we
pipe.
did.
I feel like I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and they were just shocked that it was even a thing. Uh, so I don't know if I've made this clear before, but it's a small collection. But I like to collect vintage paraphernalia.
Yes.
Like, and I'm not, I don't have a bunch of cheap plastic bongs.
Mhm.
Like I had a bunch of cheap plastic bongs when I was a kid, but I don't want that. But like a ceramic bong or just weird stuff, and
Yeah.
and I've got some cool shit that I want to bring out at some point. But today I want to show you the dash pipe because it's one of the weirdest pieces of paraphernalia that I ever ran across. It's from the 70s. There's not a lot out there about it. I feel like at one time I saw like an image online of an ad for this, but I cannot find it. But it's the dash pipe. So it's from the 70s, and what you have here is a long tube, a nice little wooden mouthpiece on it.
Looks a little bit like an enema tube. Okay.
But I mean that's a nice mouthpiece. Like
It
that's a
is a nice
quality,
mouthpiece. Yeah.
that's well turned. There's
If
some
you're a
detail work on this.
caterpillar.
Now, this is not cheap. And then you've got a nice wooden pipe with a decent sized bowl in it.
Though without the pipe attached, just that wooden pipe looks a lot like my very first bowl that I
I
had.
know it's like a classic little piece, and it would be so
Yes.
nice to smoke out of. But now you got this nice tube with a mouthpiece on it
Yeah.
and a suction cup on the end.
Suction
So
cup. I was
so
wondering
you
what
can
that
light
was.
this and stick it to your dash
Dash pipe. Oh my
and smoke
god.
on it while you drive down the road.
With your baby that just came home from the hospital on top of a phone book. Because wow. I was like, it took my brain a while to even like connect dash there. I was like, okay, that is crazy.
Do
Do you
I?
think so? Was that like, I mean, in the 70s, people were still smoking pipes, like tobacco pipes. So was that for tobacco use only? Do you think initially,
I have no idea.
like at one
I
point,
have no
GM
idea.
was like handing it out to everybody who bought a new car? Smoke.
Like if you search for dash pipe online, you
Which I'm
you
going
will
to.
find dashboard pipe holders for your
Uh-huh.
big meerschaum pipe. Uh,
So I have to ask you, and don't get into details because we don't admit to breaking the law here whenever possible. But have you ever used that
oh hell no!
yourself? Okay.
Oh hell no! Like this says please arrest me.
Yes, it does.
Please arrest me
Right.
because I have no goddamn common sense.
I mean, just imagine that you get pulled over and you're not even like you just have that thing hooked up because you just forgot that it was still hooked up, and the cop is looking, and you're like, if that's not probable cause, I don't know what it is. Just some weird ass
Yeah, no,
suction cup
absolutely not.
pipe.
But
Yeah.
uh, but I could not pick it up.
No, and you know what?
Right?
You know what I'm thinking? Shower. Right?
My friend, I think we could make some money on this.
I'm thinking I'm thinking pipe, up high, maybe a little bit longer on the back wall.
Oh, outside of the curtain.
Okay, either way, you light it up before you get in. The pipe that the tube is in the shower. Just that's we just copyrighted this idea. For anybody watching this, don't steal our idea. Make $100 with it because that's our $100 to make. Maybe even hundreds.
Sell this idea to Josh.
I mean, I might buy one if I saw such a thing. I might buy it.
I know me. I've seen me do it. I bought this thing.
Yeah, yes, you did.
You
But where? I mean,
what did I wear a couple weeks ago?
what did you?
The
Oh,
around the neck
the
thing.
weed necklace. Yes.
Yeah, I'll buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What else you got for us? Any other gear handy?
I mean, I hadn't planned on it, but I could show off this pipe.
Yeah, let's show it off. I'm trying to delay. As soon as we get off of here, I'm gonna go subject myself to the presidential debate. So a few more extra minutes so that I can avoid that,
Oh,
and
no,
a couple extra hits here, then I'll be good.
uh the presidential debate. What should you smoke?
Yeah, what is a good? I'm doing the Jack Herrer, but what would be a good strain for suffering through
Well,
such a
it kind of depends on what you're going for.
thing?
Are you
I
worried
want to
about
be.
anxiety?
Yeah, I
Because
want to
then
be
I
able
would
to
say
pay attention.
myrcene, caryophyllene, perhaps. But if you just kind of want to be chill and I, I, I want to be sedated and calm, linalool. We haven't
R.I.P.
talked
Joy
about
Ramone
linalool yet,
and all
but
Ramones.
linalool uh, is one to look for if you want to be chill. But are you feeling stressed? Do you want to maybe lift your mood up, pull some depression away?
Always.
Go for the limonene.
Yeah.
We're
I
going to be
think
talking about limonene
we did talk about.
in our next episode. No, we
Oh
have not
no, we
talked
talked
about
about
limonene.
pinene. See, I already forgot.
Limonene is
Okay,
up next.
lemonene's up next. Nice. See,
Limonene.
my brain went pinene because pinene can be found in lemon rinds, and lemon sounds like limonene, which
Yes,
I bet can also be found in lemons.
it is. It
I
is
knew it.
definitely found in lemons. So it's funny. What's your favorite strain?
I don't know that
We
I
were
have an
just
all-time
talking
favorite,
about
but
it.
yeah, Jack Herrer, I
Jack
guess
Herer.
for the sake of yes.
So what I have, I finally got one. I've been chasing one of these for a couple years.
Uh
This is a pipe. It's a handmade wooden pipe designed by
old Jack
Jack.
himself.
Yes.
Nice.
So they're all handmade. They're all hand carved. Uh, and there's two barrels for the smoke to come through, which come up through this wide body in an S shape. So the smoke gets split in two, and then it bounces down these things to cool down.
Uh
The bowl is designed a lot more like a traditional tobacco pipe. So if you pack this thing properly,
yeah.
you can light it up and pass it around and around and around, and you never have to spark it again. It's it smokes just
Have you tried it?
yes,
And it
yes.
works as well as advertised?
It is the best wooden pipe I've ever smoked out of.
Oh, that is very cool.
Like if you don't dig wooden pipes, you're not gonna like this. But
I do dig wooden
if
pipes.
you like a wooden pipe, uh, I had to learn to pack it a little differently than you would like a glass pipe.
Mhm.
But they send you instructions, which is helpful.
I just learned that old Jack passed away in 2010 at the age of 70. So I'm going to take a hit here.
But no, that is a piece I have been watching for because when I discovered them, they sold out almost immediately. And they're like, we might make some more.
Oh, so I might not be able to just
We
order
might
one of those
not. No,
online?
I think no, I think they actually still have some. If you want one, I'll
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
talk to me in the green room.
Will do.
Speaking of which, I think it's about that time.
I think so too. All right. Well, it has been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. If we remember our login info, we will not be here next week or the week after because of things. Mick will
Fantastic
be,
Fest.
yeah, Fantastic Fest. So hopefully in 3 weeks' time, we'll remember how to get in. Until then, change your bong water. And Mick,
I told you I was no good at this.
we'll see you next
I
time.
told you I was no good at this. Good night, everybody. Rock on.